y'all doing? I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, you guys. This one is called Dr. Pepper. Yeah, Dr. Pepper. This one's going out to my buddy Brandon. You know, this going out to my buddy Brandon. All right, this one's for you, Brandon. Look, one back in the day at the job, they used to call me Dr. Pepper. Okay? Not because I drank Dr. Pepper or something like that. Because of I used to spray people. Look, yeah, it wasn't nice either. It wasn't nice. It was not nice. I don't do it no more. I used to do it a lot. Like one day it was I was walking to the parking lot. Okay, and I saw three guys in the parking lot, and one guy was looking at cars and stuff. So I told him, "Hey, what you doing?" He said, "Oh, nothing, nothing, nothing. We doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing." I said, "Y'all gonna have to leave. Y'all have to leave." So I was walking them out the parking lot, and well, this is when it wasn't a parking garage right there. It was just a parking lot. So I was walking them out the parking lot, and all of a sudden, this guy started getting aggressive with me, getting aggressive. Talking about, "Hey, you who you think you're police or something like that? You think you're police or something?" So I took him and I threw him down, and I was on him. And then the other two guys came up on me like they was going to do something. They was getting ready to hit me. So I took my mace out and psst, 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 I sprayed both of them. And the guy that was down, I didn't spray him, cause he couldn't get up. But it was crazy, man. And both of the guys start crying. you know. So and then the police came and they took them away. Then there was a guy that was in the lobby, talking about just getting real aggressive with people, talking about what he'd do and how many people he didn't beat up and stuff like that. So I was called to the lobby. So I went to the lobby and I told him, say, "Sir, look, you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to leave, okay?" And he got aggressive with me. So instead of hitting him, that's gonna cause injuries like swollen or eyes or nose or something like that, I chose a less lethal weapon. I took my mace out and he kept talking. I said, "Look, man, I'm tired of this, all right?" Psst, I sprayed him. It came out in a long string. This mace comes out in a long string. And when you hit, I aim right here, right here. When it hit there, it goes in his eyes and nose and everything. And I sprayed him, and he got reduced to a little baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's sorry and stuff like that. Man, it's crazy. A lot of those things would happen. I had a big guy, big buff guy, and even him, I had to tell him to leave the hotel, and he started getting kind of rough with me, talking. You know, so I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm telling you, man, leave the hotel." But the guy that still didn't leave, so psst, I just one little squeak, psst. Now, are you gonna leave now? He "Oh, man, what? Man, why you do that, man? Why you do that?" I said, "Leave the hotel. That's all." And he got reduced to a little baby too. Yeah, he was crying, you know. Then lastly, this guy wouldn't leave the leave the establishment, you know. So I tried to pull him out, but he swung at me like this, and I moved out the way, and it went past me, and I said, "Oh man, really? Oh, I know what." Psst, sprayed him, and he he fell to the ground, you know, fall on the ground, rolling around and stuff. And I told him, I said, I can get that out. So he kept saying, please get this out, please get this out. So I took it to the restroom and I flushed his face with water, you know, and then when he could see a little bit, he told me, he said, man, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You didn't have to do that. I said, yes, I did. You, cause you was less than reasonable. You know, I was trying to talk nice to you, and you started going off. He said, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I said, well, don't worry about it. Just don't do that again, you know. And I gave him a dry towel so he can dry his face off. And once he straightened himself up, then he walked out the hotel. Yeah. But that freeze P, that freeze P, that's it's freeze plus, you know, and it would instantly render you helpless, you know, and it'll instantly render you helpless without causing you to bleed or nothing like that. So I recommend that spray, Freeze P, Freeze Plus. That's what it stands for. So I recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's like a less lethal weapon to use on somebody, you know. But you got to be trained before you use mace, you know, because if the wind is coming towards you, you try to spray somebody, the wind will blow it back on you. So you got to keep them downwind from you. It's obvious, you know. But like I said, I'm nonviolent now. I'm nonviolent, so I wouldn't hurt a fly. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I rephrase that. I wouldn't hurt a person or an animal or nothing like that, you know. But these are the things you go through when you are into security. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Peace. Adios. I am so sleepy, you guys. I'm trying to play it off. Bye.